Hey everyone, this is Rob,
Hey, Michelle.
and welcome to Bunebape, your weekly podcast on everything you need to know about old school RuneScape. Alright, so this week up on the Slap Chop It, we have, of
Oh,
course, as always, it's going to be our account progress, and it's pretty much going to be very leagues heavy this
not pretty much.
episode.
It's only
So
going to be leagues.
yeah, hopefully we don't bore you too much with the leagues talk, but we are going to be going over a lot of our progress in leagues, more specifically, because I don't think either of us have really been playing on our regular accounts
I did
recently.
a tiny little bit and I'll go over it.
Okay, but besides that, we're going to be going over that. And speaking of leagues, of course, we have the leagues update and fixes for this week. So we'll be going over that. And also, beyond leagues, we actually have some really great stuff that we're going to be going over. There was a blog released yesterday. So we're going to be going over everything you need to know about the up and coming Runecrafting minigame.
Oh, yes.
So it's actually pretty exciting and kind of spoiler alert, there are pets involved.
There's a pet? I only looked a little bit at it.
So not to get you too excited, but yeah, we're not going to have everything just be leagues. There are some other really cool and interesting stuff coming up today. So make sure to stick around for that. And of course, at the very end, we are going to end with just a few questions.
Yep.
But before any of that goes ahead, Michelle, how's it going?
Really well.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll start with my main because I said I did a little about my main. And by that, I mean it was time for my weeklies. So I went and checked on Managing Miscellanea.
Okay.
I did Managing Miscellanea. I got some dynamite, got some battle staffs to sell because they're like free and discounted. And then I could have done Tears of Guthix, but since I have my quest cape, this is such a...
Wait, I was so confused. I thought you were getting all these items from Managing Miscellanea. I'm like,
No.
part of Managing Miscellanea gives you staves?
It's a weekly thing. I do the staves and dynamite every day. And
yeah,
then
I know. That's why I was so confused. I was like, what?
I'm a little all over the place right now.
Okay.
But yeah, so I did Managing Miscellanea. I did like my other little dailies, like getting those, and I could have done Tears of Guthix, but the weirdest complaint ever, I was like, oh, since I have my quest cape, I'm there too long, and I don't have time. I need to go to leagues.
That's so funny.
So I didn't even do Tears of Guthix.
So you don't even want XP on the main game?
Yeah. I mean, not right now.
It's
just going to go to construction anyway. I want to go to a different skill.
That's so funny. Okay.
But yeah, on leagues, I'm having the absolute time of my life here, folks. So I'm going to look it up right now to see what I'm ranked so far. I am ranked 36,693.
Nice.
Yeah.
How many points do you have?
I have 3,585 points.
Nice.
So I'm actually tier 5 now.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a big gain. I mean, actually, last week I was tier 1, huh? We just started.
Yeah.
How has this only been out for a week? How has it not been out for like years?
I know. It's just because I think we've been spending quite a bit of time on it.
We've been spending so much time on leagues, but it's been really fun. My total level on my account right now is 979.
Nice. You're about to get the 1,000 task, so we're going to get some free points there.
So if you're not playing leagues, basically, it's similar to the combat achievements where you have a bunch of tasks that you need to do, and that's how you get league points.
Yeah, it's like combat achievements and diaries mixed into one, and anytime you complete any larger milestone in the game, sometimes even smaller milestones for the easier ones.
The easy one is literally like pick a thing of wheat and Catherby and you get 5 points.
Yeah, they're called tasks and you complete them and you get league points as a reward, which are used to place you among your peers. Mm-hmm. And you don't spend them or anything until the end of the league. And that's
how you get like the recolors.
Yeah, exactly. And then you also get another currency called Sage's Renown, and that's what you use to unlock additional content in the game, whether that be bosses or immediately unlocking quests.
Yeah, so I actually last night unlocked Sins of the Father and Song of the Elves and just skipped them completely, so that was sick.
Yeah.
Because there's like some random content I could do over there, and like I know I'm not gonna do them anyway, so I was like, I had a lot of points yesterday, might as well skip, you know?
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna do Dragon Slayer 2 soon, but I think so the way that the quest part works, it's kind of like in packages. It's like Fairy 1, Fairy 2, Elves 1, Elves 2, Elves 3.
Yeah.
And it's just like tiers, like little groups that are involved in finishing quests.
Yeah, so like the first elves might have the quest like Regicide and Plague City in it, and then The
Biohazard.
Biohazard Elves 2 might have like the first half of
Mornings.
Morning's End and stuff like that, and then the final one will have Morning's End as well as Song of the Elves.
Yeah.
So you have to unlock them in packs, but they do reduce in price whenever you do complete portions of the pack. So.
Yeah. So for most of them, I've been doing like some portions just so it'll take like 5-6 points off the entire package.
Yeah, some of them do reduce it quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think one of them, I don't even remember what it was. I did all the quests except for one, so I only had to pay like 5 points.
Yeah. Yeah, they're pretty cheap if you do them like that.
Yeah. And then also, well, now that we're both tier 5, spoiler alert, he also got tier 5.
Wow.
We're getting 12 times the XP. So even if you do the quest, like, even if they have like really bad rewards, like 1,000 XP of something, you're going to be getting 12,000 XP now.
Yeah, like for instance, whenever I fish a single angler fish, I get like 1,500 experience or something like that.
Yeah, it's actually great.
Yeah, so
that's not for everyone. That's in tier 5.
So at tier 1, you unlock 5 times, or yeah, 5 times experience. That's what everyone starts with. And then once you get to tier 3, you get 8 times experience, and then tier 5 is 12 times, and you finish at tier 7 with 16 times experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the first, like, tier 2, you don't really get any changes, but once you get to tier 4, your drops are 2 times more likely now, and then at tier 6, drops are 3 times more likely. So that's probably why everyone has pets in this game.
No, I don't. It's not affected. Pets aren't affected.
Oh, why'd you tell me that? I'm sad.
Pets are normal drop chance.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, if someone gets a pet, it's actually still kind of a big deal, especially because they do carry over to the next league.
I mean, it would still be a big deal if they even got 1,000 of any kill count.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so Leagues has been super sick. I also unlocked all of the skills, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh yeah, you just unlocked all of them.
I did.
If you get them all at level 5, that's a task.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to be doing that after we record. I'm just doing like agility and more AFK things while we record so I can actually pay attention.
No, of course.
One of my favorite fragments so far is the Golden Brick Road. So whenever I do agility, when a Mark of Grace spawns, I get 7,000 coins along with it.
Okay.
Yeah, last night I did like 40 something coins and made like 100,000. It was nice.
Nice.
Because I need to get my agility
is
up
that
anyway.
is that your favorite rune? We could just say what our favorite fragments are so far.
That, and also I really like Smooth Criminal because it makes it so whenever you get stunned while stealing, you don't
that's a really good one.
don't take any damage. So going to Master Farmer is great.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I think there's also more effects to it, like it makes it more successful. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, tier 3, you have a 50% higher chance of succeeding.
Yeah, I'm only tier 2 on both of these so far, but yeah, those are probably my 2 favorite at the moment. There's some I haven't really tried out yet, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, what about you?
I was gonna name set effects, but that's probably cheating. So
that is definitely cheating.
I'll
Trailblazer.
Honestly, weirdly enough, I'd say like the simpler ones, like the ones that make it so whenever you like catch a fish, it automatically cooks them, or whenever you cut a log, it automatically burns it. Just because it's really nice whenever
it still gives you the XP for those, right?
Yeah, so it's nice whenever you see the effect, and like for instance, if you have like level 1 fire making, technically you could like chop a magic tree, burn it like automatically, and still get the experience and get like bumped up to level 15 fire making like immediately.
Yeah.
So I thought those were really fun and really kind of changed up the way you would train, because you would like kind of do what's it called? So you can like train multiple things without having to like unlock them or do that training method.
That's a good one. I mean, it's simple, but like it's very effective. Your fishing and stuff is really high.
Yeah, it definitely affected like the way I train. So as far as like single runes go, maybe that. But I mean, the set effects themselves are probably the much more like sought after things.
So set effects are basically, there's tons of fragments, of course. Oh, I also just got 70 agility. That's what I was aiming for. So yeah, there's tons of fragments, and some of the fragments have like different passive effects. So it'll be like, oh, if you have 3 that all have the Trailblazer effect, then that means that you can have this necklace that basically can teleport you to all the big cities in the entire game.
Yeah.
So I always keep that one in my set because it's the Trailblazer one. If I don't have Trailblazer available, I don't know how to get around in this game.
I know. I had to get used to teleporting everywhere using runes and stuff again.
Ew. How vintage.
I know, it's weird. But like I'm using like a couple like really powerful like skilling set effects that I don't need to teleport. I'm just fishing anglerfish.
Yeah.
So I mean, with my set effects, whenever I fish one angler, I actually fish three. And then
Nice.
half the time they get cooked and half the time they get automatically banked.
So is this your favorite set so far?
This is my favorite set for fishing, cooking, fire making, and wood cutting because it has the same effect on both of them.
Yeah.
Where I'll like automatically chop 3 logs and then automatically burn half of them and also automatically deposit half of them.
Nice.
So it's really nice.
Seems so much faster.
It is really fast because like it turns your 1 log that you would normally chop into 3, which would just give you, going from what would be normally 1,000 experience to practically 10,000 experience whenever you get all 3 cut and all 3 burned at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just like so much faster on top of the experience multiplier.
No, that's fair. But I think that's really all I had to say. I don't know. There's just a lot going on. Nothing like specific, really.
Yeah, a lot of progress is being made.
A lot of progress. Nothing like big. I haven't done any bosses or anything yet. Hopefully by next week I'll do some bosses. Start getting those done.
Yeah.
But how have you been?
Pretty good. So, kind of just been doing the same thing.
But
I think
much faster. Tell us your rank and everything.
So I'm currently rank, I think 26,000. My exclamation point league points isn't working in league.
Oh yeah, that's
right
how
now.
you could check everyone.
So I'm just looking at my old high scores, but that don't take into account any of the stuff I've done today.
Mm-hmm.
But I am 28,000, ranked 28,000 with 4195 league points and just over 33 million at total XP.
Jesus.
So it's going pretty well. It's nice because I logged in and I got a bunch of really nice unlocks, and I'll tell you how I did that after we go over the patch notes because that kind of covers it too.
Yeah, no, I was waiting to mention.
I don't really want to spoil it, but it's nice. I got my first 99, which was Hunter.
Woo! That's why you have so much more XP than me. That's already 13 mil right there.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I wanted to get Hunter because that just makes chinning to get up range and defense like so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that a bunch and got that. Also, there's a really cute rune or fragment called Chinchonkers.
Oh, yeah. Cutest name.
Yeah, so it makes it so that you catch twice as many Chinchampas. That actually might be my favorite one because it also increases how much experience you get by like 2 or 3 times. So
oh my gosh.
For every Chinchampa you catch, it's going to be like 14,000 for reds and 16,000 for blacks.
Jeez.
Besides that, though, I actually have like a lot of plans coming up because I'm going to start bossing pretty soon here.
Mm-hmm.
Probably do some deranged archaeologists, some barrows, and then like slowly work my way into like some of the higher tier bosses, and I want to unlock more areas, probably get into some gauntlet fairly soon here.
Oh wow, gauntlet.
But I still have a lot to do as far as melee. I just unlocked melee for the first time yesterday, which is probably surprising for a lot of people.
I mean, you're already doing pretty well. You want to share what your melee is?
So I got I unlocked it yesterday, but I did Waterfall Quest, which gives you like 300,000 experience.
It's amazing.
And
I wish I'd done it at 12 times. I just did 8 times experience.
So I got from 1 to 54 strength and attack all in one shot. And then it's nice because I was able to level my defense with magic and with range. So that's already 73.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm just slowly leveling up a bunch of stuff in my account. Doing a lot of gathering and stuff, which is why my combat is actually a lot lower than I think a lot of people would normally have it at in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people focus on combat, but I even made a video about how I planned on starting more passively in this league.
I think that's why you have more experience.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, like for instance, I got 76 fishing on the first day. Like that's all I did.
You already unlocked sharks.
Yeah, I had sharks on the first day, and so I was just taking the league a little bit more easy. I know people like
not easy per se, just more AFK.
Yeah, a little more AFK, and then the second
you're still playing like 12 hours a day.
The second and third day, I started to become like much more active because like I had like new goals and new plans set for the league. So
that's the most fun part is our goals are like changing every single day.
Yeah, they definitely change, especially because I even said this in the video as well. Like your plans are going to change often depending on which fragments you get access to.
Yeah, they influence you a lot.
Yeah, initially I had a plan, but then of course a lot of it changed. But it's nice either way. I'm liking the progress that I'm making on the account.
Good.
So I'm gonna keep going, and hopefully, I'm really hoping that I get to like maybe 1,500 total really soon, and also get like much higher magic and range, so that I can go do gauntlet a lot easier whenever I unlock that.
Oh yeah, tell them about your range.
Yeah, so I got 83 range using I actually was able to farm 1,000 black chins. It's a task. And so
I didn't know it was a task.
yeah, 250, 500 and 1,000 are a task. So I just got them all in
God.
one go. And it's funny because it's like obviously the best way to get up your range. So there's so many people down there. It's like really hard finding a world with less than 3 people in all of the chinning caves.
And unfortunately, PKers are still a thing.
Oh, also PKers are a thing.
They can't even pick up your drops.
Yeah, it's funny. I don't think people know this, but in leagues, all of your deaths are safe deaths, except for if there's a bug. So even if someone kills you in the wilderness, you can just go back and get your stuff, or you can claim it from Death's office. But the bad thing about Chin Champas is if you're farming chins and someone kills you, the Chin Champas all run away. So if you die for let's say 2,000 chins on you, then all the chins run away.
What we're saying is bank your chins often.
Yeah, exactly. So kind of unfortunate.
And
but,
some people get PK'd because other people are trying to take their spots at the chins.
Yeah.
That actually happened to Cool Nate from our stream the other day.
Yeah. So if you're going, probably come fully geared, probably with something to counter magic, because it seems like a lot of people are just going around with ancients because it's really easy to get a full set of mystics and unlocking ancients, and then you get the ancient staff from the quest. So it's really easy to gear up if you're a mage. So just bring your anti-mage gear if possible. Try to get your black dehides and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. That's probably as best as you can do. Bring a lot of sharks, I guess, or cheesy potatoes, something like that.
Something cheesy potatoes.
Yeah, but I haven't done any bosses on the account, so hopefully that'll be something I do today. I plan on doing a lot of Slayer and Melee today, and then we'll see where that takes us.
Yeah.
But also, I totally forgot to bring this up, but if you want to follow my account's progress, whether you're interested in leagues or just like...
Tell me that video.
Yeah, if you like want to play leagues but don't know what it would be like, or if you just want to see what a league's progression would be like, I have a bunch of videos like covering literally 100% of my progress in leagues so far.
He hasn't been making them every day, but nearly every day.
Yeah, even if I haven't been making them every day, it's all the progress that I've been going through. So, and this is from a like quote unquote more casual standpoint, so I'm not getting like 10,000 points in like a week, which I know some people have already got. I think he's
just getting like 20 million experience in a day.
Yeah, I think someone in like the first 4 days had over 10,000 points, which is like an insane amount.
From what I've been told, a lot of people getting a lot of points just skip all the quests and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So there's definitely strategies that you can use to be a lot more efficient than mine, but from a more casual sweaty player, you can get my standpoint.
And by more casual, we mean way more serious than casual players.
Yeah, that's why I said casual sweaty player.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much all that's been going on with me. I have been putting out a ton of videos, so
much videos. We're actually gonna hopefully have
we'll have another video out today, and then we'll have an update on my account tomorrow, and then we'll also have the podcast out tomorrow. So a lot of stuff.
Videos.
Yeah, if you're interested in RuneScape, hopefully there's something for you on the channel. If you won't, feel free to check out the channel and let us know if there's something good.
We also put out a video of we're trying this because Rob like watches YouTube videos that do this, of putting out videos from like streams. We put out a Phasma one.
Yeah, so I've been mainly doing that to like try and see if there's any interest in that, because I like watching stuff like that because it's something I can put on another screen.
Yeah, it's just like unedited, literally just taken from a stream.
Yeah.
But it happened to be a very long clip, so.
Yeah, exactly. So ideally they'd be shorter, but either way, it's like a really good example of this is like any game that is like session based. So session based meaning
Phasmophobia is great for it.
Yeah, so like you go into a game and you do something and you get out, because then you could just simply put up that game if it's more interesting and people might be interested in it, because it's just like one of the better parts of the stream. And a lot of people do this with Escape from Tarkov, because Escape from Tarkov matches are only between like 5 and like 40 minutes. So you can just put up one of your better ones on there, and I like watching those because, like I said, while I'm working I could just have it up and like kind of not really pay attention to it.
Yeah,
so it's kind of just like background noise, but yeah, it's still engaging how it goes. I think it went pretty okay for it not being the most interesting video, but
yeah, it wasn't the best video, which is so unfortunate because I was literally being hunted by a ghost named Betty White.
Yeah, true.
But Betty White was the most passive ghost in the world
until you turned off her stove.
Until I turned off her stove and she killed me immediately.
But yeah, unfortunately,
literally nothing until I turned off that stove and then I died.
Yeah, But luckily, I actually have another clip lined up that's a bit more interesting. So
So when I was playing with some other people.
yeah, still putting out some testers, seeing how that goes. But this is definitely not that podcast. So we
Okay,
can continue on to something more RS related.
sure.
But
You said we don't care about your game, Michelle.
no, we'll give everyone what they came for, which is going to be the League's 3 patch notes.
Oh
So
my gosh, you guys.
these are going to be the changes and updates for this league so far. Of course,
Spoiler
it's
alert, they're really good.
only been a week since it's come out, and they have made very significant changes. So if you aren't interested in leagues at all, this might not be your stuff because there's nearly nothing else in this.
Everyone's like, talk more about Phasmo. I'm taking a break, guys.
All right. So as far as Leagues 3 Shattered Relics balancing goes, so they start off by saying it's been great seeing so many of you get stuck into our third league, Shattered Relics. We're seeing some seriously powerful fragment and set effect combinations, and we're glad you're thoroughly enjoying the extra strategy involved this time. We've also seen feedback suggesting that the few restrictions in place are too limiting, and that the best fragments and set effects take too long to obtain. We'd like to alleviate these concerns somewhat by rebalancing the renown cost required to unlock new skills and bosses.
Woo!
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. Those of you who have already unlocked this stuff will have the difference refunded. By opening any League's interface, this will be applied with the amount shown in the chat box. Happy spending.
Yay!
So yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Whenever I logged in this morning, I had 140 Sage's Renown waiting for me, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, I got 100 back.
Yeah, for instance, the most one can award you is I think 5 points. So 140 is definitely a lot. I spent a lot on stuff that apparently was not worth it by their standards. So
Yeah, should we go over some of the changes?
yes, we are going to go over a lot of the changes. So there are some really handy infographics. So of course, as always on YouTube, I will have a link in the description if you want to check out these notes. They have some really cool images. And
I think I also retweeted on Twitter as well when they put it out.
yeah, so you can follow us over there as well for updates. But as far as the skill cost, for anyone that doesn't know, in the league, you are only starting off with 3 skills, and then all the rest you have to pay to unlock by doing tasks.
Mm-hmm.
So the points required to unlock these have all been reduced. Previously, the highest priced one was 30,
Which was insane.
yeah, and the cheapest priced one was 10. So now there are no skills worth more than 15.
Which is so great.
Yeah, so they brought all the ones that were 10 down to 5, and all the ones that were 20 down to 10, and finally the ones that were 30 down to 15.
Just all cut in half.
Yeah, so it's been a lot nicer. Looking at all these, it does seem like, honestly, agility is a steal for 5 points because it was a steal for 10 points. And runecrafting and agility,
Runecrafting
honestly,
is weirdly really fun this time.
runecrafting and agility are my point makers. This league.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely.
There were so many really good easy tasks for agility and runecrafting. So anyone struggling to get points or tasks done, take a look at those. They're going to give you a ton of points.
Especially if you go to the Arceus library, you can get runecrafting from those books.
Yeah.
And getting those books are also tasks in themselves.
Yeah, spend some time at the Arceus library, get your runecrafting up a little bit, and then if you can craft up to like law runes or nature runes, then you're in for a lot of points.
You're good. And you could just go to the Abyss too.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I thought I wasn't able to do stuff because I didn't have talismans and tiaras. And then Robert reminded me about the Abyss. And I was
That's
like,
what I
oh
thought
my
at
gosh.
first for a second, then I'm like, wait, the Abyss.
I totally forgot.
Yeah. So among that, there are even more changes. So they made it so all the bosses are also half price.
Some of them were so expensive.
Yeah, for instance, Chambers of Xeric, I think used to be 70 points and now 35. So they've reduced the price of everything. If you're trying to fight Corporal Beast, Garage Door, Vorkath, all of those are now 30 points. So significantly less than before.
And it's like really hard to make these points for, especially for a casual player. Like we play all day. Yesterday, I think I made like 100 points. So I wouldn't have even been able to unlock.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have been able to unlock like Herblore and Chambers at the same time.
Yeah. It's easy to make like big point gains in small bursts. So like once you unlock smithing or something like that, it's pretty easy to get like 30 points because you're
just
doing
go and do all of them.
Yeah, you go and do all the tasks for smithing, or like runecrafting, it's easy to make like 50 points really quick because you do all the tasks there. But once you're like pretty caught up on your tasks and you kind of are just like grinding skills, because then you have to unlock the higher tier tasks.
That's kind of
or
where I'm at right now.
yeah, or getting 99s and stuff like that. And it's really tough for bosses because if you spend 30 points on Zulra, for example, there's not really any way to make money back from Zulra, or money as in Sage's Renown.
Yeah.
There's no real way to make Sage's Renown back from Zulra unless there's something specifically related to that boss, which isn't pretty common. I think you get points for killing the boss maybe, but you
and
don't.
Then there's like harder ones that I think are like, do it in this long.
Yeah,
or this many.
Yeah, there are some time trial stuff related to some of the bosses, but it's just not as easy as like unlocking skills, for example. So it's harder to make your points back.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I think, a welcome change from both of us that they've reduced the price of everything.
Oh, for sure. Because I didn't think any type of way about it. I thought they were expensive, but I was like, whatever. And then I saw, this was after I found out that they were lowering the price of everything, because they kind of talked about last week.
Are you talking about Foe's tweet?
No.
Oh,
no.
okay.
So if I'd seen this post on Reddit before, it probably would have actually made me not want to play Leagues, but thankfully I knew that they're going to lower the price. Someone made like a really good point about how you're just grinding skills for 3 weeks just to like be able to afford the bosses, and then you're just bossing for like 1 week, and that's Leagues. And I was like, oh my god, that would have made me not want to play if I'd read this.
Yeah, that definitely would have been disappointing.
Yeah, because you only have 40 days to play, so Easy Escape be damned, who cares?
Yeah.
It's actually not even Easy Escape still. We're playing so much.
Yeah, exactly. I think, and also I thought originally you were talking about Foe's tweet because Foe also is a big time streamer and plays the game a lot. And they made a really like poignant, I think that's how you use that word, tweet about how like a lot of the stuff, while it does technically make the game like a little more easy escape, it's like you shouldn't balance the game around people that spend 16 to 20 hours a day playing the game.
Yeah.
You should probably balance it around the majority, which spend 5 to 10 hours.
I think the majority might even spend less than that.
I think the majority probably does spend less than that, but I think it's also hard to say because I think people that are playing Leagues kind of like know they're playing Leagues.
They're the harder players.
They intend to go harder in it.
Yeah.
And so they spend, even if they're like a 3 hour a day Andy, they're probably going to up it just because it's Leagues.
Yeah.
So I think that is probably the majority for Leagues, and you want them to have more access to stuff because it's like for me, like this is a great opportunity to get to bosses and try out bosses and stuff like that. And I think that's a lot of people.
I know we were talking about like doing raids together and stuff and going to Corp.
Yeah, and to be shut out of that would be kind of annoying if it takes like
you
literally
get 2 days at the end of it to go to bosses.
Yeah, if it takes you literally 38 days to unlock the bosses and you have less than a week to actually do them, it's pretty lame. Like you might as well just go back to your main at that point.
Yeah, exactly. You want Leagues to try out new things.
Yeah, exactly. So.
And be able to do them like easier. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah. It's definitely not the point, because it's not the point that we could unlock anything, because I was telling Michelle like on this trajectory we would have had everything unlocked in like the next week probably, or pretty close to it, at least all the stuff that we wanted to do. And so it's cool, but it's also not the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
And that kind of goes into our next thing about like how much time we spend in this game and stuff, because there have been a lot of task adjustments.
Yeah,
and one specifically, you want to tell them about Wintertot?
Yeah, so there's a lot of task adjustments mainly related to how many kills per boss was required to get a lot of these tasks done. A lot of them were set between 250, 500, 750, and even 1,000 kill count for certain bosses, which over just 42 days time is kind of unreal, and so unreal that they even addressed it in one of the last live streams. I thought it was hilarious, not this week's but last week's, where it was actually brought up as a question. And this is when they mentioned that they were the first time I saw it, at least, that they were reducing the prices of things.
Yeah,
is because someone mentioned that they did the math and it would take someone around 83 hours, sorry, to get 1,000 Wintertot kills. And so that's like the minimum time it would take to get those Wintertot kills.
And I looked it up, and if someone's just playing on average like 3 hours a day, that was like 28 days.
Yeah, so more than
you would be
half
doing
their
Wintertot the entire time.
Yeah.
And then what, you get like 10 sage points total?
No, you would get a lot of sage points because they will reward you every like 1, 10, 50, 100, 250, something like that. It would be a lot of points, but it would not be worth your time. Who wants to spend
their entire Leagues at Wintertot?
Yeah, you would most certainly have way more than 25 million fire making, which is also a task.
Yeah.
But you would not have fun doing it unless that's like your thing. Yeah, some other ones that they also reduced were for Alchemical Hydra from a max of 750 to 500 kills. And another really good change was Lizardman Shamans from 5,000 kills to 1,500, because I don't think anyone wants to go for actual Warhammer drop rate on Lizardman Shamans unless
Yeah.
they have to.
But-
Besides that, they also changed farming contracts and also stealing artifacts for Captain Khalid.
Oh, I'm happy about the farming contracts. Before it was max 500, now it's max 150. Because farming contracts, if you get like a redwood, you're doing that contract for like 3 days.
Yeah,
And you could skip it, but you have to do lower tier. So you won't even get as good as rewards.
I think that's the strategy though. So
Just skip and do easy.
yeah, because I mean, if you're trying to
Wow.
maximize them, you're not going to maximize your reward at the same time.
I want both.
I know, but yeah, it is nice that they changed a lot of these though. Also, opening the grubby chests, they lowered it to 250 from 500, which is nice because I think that's a 1 out of 50 drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really nice. But obviously,
Another really good one was Skatizo. The max before was 250 and now it's 150.
yeah, getting that many totems would be crazy.
I think it's still crazy because on my main, which I actively try to go to Corinne every chance I get, I only have 25 Skatizo kills.
But in this one,
they're
you
twice
can,
as likely.
I think it's twice as likely. But the main thing is you can pick your task.
Oh, that's something we forgot to mention. Tier 6, I believe, you can pick your Slayer task.
Yeah, and you can pick
I'm
them.
only going to be in Corinne.
You can pick the same ones over and over again.
That's
So
actually
you can just
amazing.
pick Necreals as soon as you unlock them,
I'm
or
actually
Dust
so over
Devils as soon as you
Necreals.
unlock them. If you have Ancients, or if you're chinning, that's like free.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah. So among that, other things they also changed were the set effects that we mentioned earlier. So for instance, there's a set effect that gives you the Darox set effect. So the lower health you have, the more damage you do.
Mm-hmm.
And they changed it from requiring 4 fragments to 3 fragments. Also, another one that I'm using right now that I really enjoy that I mentioned is Greedy Gatherer, which allows you to gain 2 or 3 times as many items whenever you're fishing or woodcutting or farming.
Yeah, I'm actually doing it right now too.
Yeah, so they reduced that to either from 3 to 2 or from 4 to 3, depending on if you're going for the 3 or 4 piece set effect. And one of the big ones was Last Recall. This is really well known in Last League as being probably by far the best rune. And they're returning in this one. Originally, it would cost you 5 runes or 5 fragments as for the set effect, which is a lot because it does take a while to get to tier 5.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So they have reduced it from 5 to 4. So it's going to be nice. You can have a 4 set effect for Last Recall as well as a 3 set effect. And hopefully that'll make your leveling a little bit easier.
Yeah, do you want to tell them what Last Recall is?
Oh, yeah. Totally forgot.
He's been very excited. He's been like 10 minutes talking about yesterday on a walk.
Everyone had Last Recall. I got it really early on, but I couldn't
last year.
use
I don't know why you know so much about it.
Because I did keep up with it. Because like a lot of, I think this is actually a really good point you brought up. Because like a lot of people, especially last year, I was like, oh, Leagues is really interesting, but I have a main that I'm committed to, and I don't really feel like I could spend the time going to a league and messing around for a few weeks and then coming back. And this year, I figured that it's not always the funnest to play Efficientscape, and
also
XP
the rewards
waste.
are sick.
Yeah, XP waste is like kind of a meme. And so also the rewards are really cool, and I wanted them on my GIM because also Michelle didn't notice this is kind of a reveal for her.
Oh,
but because she's not doing on her GIM and I am, I can actually use my league points to buy her stuff for her GIM.
because we're in a group.
Yep.
Yes.
And they're tradable.
Yeah, you gonna give me the outfits?
Maybe it depends on how many points I have.
Whenever it costs gold too, I could just get you gold. No one will even know I didn't do leagues on my GIM.
What do you mean gold?
I thought you could buy with gold later.
No.
After leagues?
No.
How come people could buy like the twisted horns right now?
Because they're on the auction house.
I don't know what that is.
The GE?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
We can't trade
you can
on the
only do the
GIM?
GE. Okay. I'm like, who said auction house? I thought this was something else.
No, auction house is what they call it in literally every other game.
Yeah, no. I don't play other games. I'm committed and like someone in this room.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, but so either way, they did make it so that it's a lot easier to get multiple set effects rolling at once, and a lot of these are the more sought after ones, making construction or just crafting in general, gathering so much easier, and so it's really nice to see those changes. There are a couple other additional changes. One really nice one made it so that more banks will now correctly allow players to change fragments. For instance, if you are going to the Rogue's Den, You cannot change it there.
Oh my god, there's actually a few I've gone to that are so annoying. They're like, you have to be in a bank.
If you're going to Ferox Enclave, you can
I've tried
also
that
not
quite a
change
few
it there.
times.
Also, they made it so that they added the Dragon Defender to the list of boosted item drops, so that's really nice.
Weird that it wasn't.
Seems like people were going really dry over there from what I understand,
Yikes.
so that's kind of unfortunate. And I'll have to do that grind too very soon as well, which makes me sad. Cool. Another really small change that you wouldn't think is a big deal, but kind of matters a lot is the fragment menu will now save your filter settings even after you log out.
This does not seem like a big deal, but do you know how annoying it is? Every single time I look at my list, I have to go and filter it again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually so annoying.
Yeah, so that was really annoying.
I was like more excited for that than everything being lowered in price.
Yeah.
Like, please just save it.
They also made it so that they increased the value of fragments. I mean, obviously nothing is tradable, so they increased the value so that they don't disappear on the floor when fishing or cooking
Come on.
with a full backpack.
How would that happen? I think that might have happened to me last week. I was fishing for like hours and wasn't getting any fragments, but I wasn't really paying attention. I was like, I bet that they just disappeared.
Yeah,
it's not confirmed or anything, but
if you have a full inventory, let's say you're cooking, and then a fragment drops, it'll drop to the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is it cost less. That had a value less than fish. So what people would do is, obviously, when they're either power fishing or cooking and dropping stuff on the floor, they'd have like 20 or 30 items on the floor being fish. And when there's too many items on the floor, the least valuable item gets deleted, just disappears from the game.
So
which would be the fragments.
Because it's less valuable than fish.
Yep. So they increased the value so that it can never happen again, hopefully. And so that's a really nice change.
Heck yeah.
On top of all this, they actually went through and labeled a bunch of the main Leagues worlds so that people can have a much easier time finding certain content.
Okay, this is actually really good too.
Yeah, for instance, if you wanted to do Wintertot, a lot of people aren't keen on doing it alone, so they would search for a world. But unfortunately, if you're on 405 or 409, you might have not gotten any luck. But so they labeled it so they know everyone is looking for Wintertot, go to 401, Fishing Trawler 402, Temporos 403, Pest Control 405, ZMI 406, Morton Temple 407, Zolcano 408.
That one must have been really annoying to get to alone.
And Barbarian Assault 409.
Yeah, no, that's actually huge. I went and did Pest Control the other day, and I was trying to do Novus, and there was 4 of us there.
Yeah.
I went to the most popular world, and I was like, I don't know where everyone is. Like, I'm not sure what to do here.
It can be brutal. So
this is huge.
So that makes it a lot easier, because, yeah, especially if you're doing Wintertot on, like, the first day, you definitely would have had to have known how to do it solo, because there was none of this, and also not that many people had it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So along with that, there are a ton of Shattered Relics hotfixes, from changing how woodcutting and fishing are rolling incorrectly to things such as gold brick road coins are now more easy to distinguish. So just a bunch of small fixes. And like I said, we are going to have the link. So if you are interested in it, feel free to go check out the full list down below.
Yep.
As far as the rest of the patch goes, there's not really anything else, just some merch updates. One really cool merch update that I'm actually excited for and thinking about getting is the Runescape tabletop game. So this is actually coming to this year in 2022. It says, after more than 21 years of being exclusively digital, we've partnered with Steamforged Games to bring Gilnor to tabletops around the world. Steamforged are creating both a board game and a core book for a tabletop role-playing game set in Gilnor. Both games will debut in 2022. The board game will be launched on Kickstarter, but the TTRPG will be heading straight to stores. So overall, this seems pretty cool. I don't know what it's about. They do have a little excerpt telling you what it's about if you're more interested.
I imagine it's be very like Dungeons and Dragon-esque.
I don't know. Because like it says here that it'll be between 1 and 5 players. It's thrilling quest-based campaigns through Gilnor. And there's going to be cooking, recipes, skilling, engaging with NPCs and different stuff like that. It doesn't really get too much into like what the actual board game is going to be about. So I don't know if we're thinking like a more involved game like Risk or Settlers of Catan, or if we're just looking at something kind of fun like, I don't know, Monopoly or Sorry. So it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. And the tabletop role-playing game is...
See, the role-playing game is what makes me think that's like D&D.
Well, these are 2 separate games.
Oh, there's 2 games?
Yeah, the tabletop role-playing game is separate, and then the board game is separate.
I want both.
Yeah, so the tabletop role-playing game will be out much sooner than the board game.
Oh.
And this one is going to offer lavishly illustrated hardback core rulebooks containing everything you need to run a campaign in the world of RuneScape. Build your own characters, explore the lush land of Gilnor, and create your own unique, exciting quests. Both games will draw on quest characters and locations across RuneScape and old school RuneScape's history. And the TTRPG will be fully compatible with the 5th edition of the world's favorite role-playing game. So it does confirm it's going to be compatible with Dungeons and Dragons.
Yay!
So if you want to start a campaign with your friends and all of you are RuneScape nerds, or if you're not, then this will actually fit in either way.
Wait, this is perfect because we're literally starting a D&D campaign this weekend for the first time with Robert's friends.
Yeah, so we might have to start up another campaign.
This would be a great way to get your friends into RuneScape. They don't want to try it. I bet they'd actually get so into it.
Yeah, I would honestly look into buying this. It would be really cool.
Yeah, I'm super down to buy that. And the board game. The board game would be fun to just play with like my nieces.
Yeah, both.
They wouldn't even have to know what it's about.
Exactly, both would be really cool. So I'm happy to check these out pretty soon. And if you are interested in the board game, make sure to check out the Kickstarter page for it. They have the links on the new site themselves.
You know the D&D-esque one? We could even play like with people from the Discord.
Oh yeah,
That'd
we definitely
be cool.
could. That'd be really cool.
Hit us up if you guys want to play. This game that's not even out yet.
Yeah. So that's going to be about it for the changes this week. There were some smaller additional changes, but nothing really relevant to go over. At least nothing I saw. If I missed something, let me know down in the comments below.
Yeah.
But that's going to be about it. We can roll into the next thing, which is going to be the blog for, like I said and teased at the very beginning, the new Guardians of the Rift mini game for Runecrafting.
Heck yes. All right. So they start by saying, Runecraft. A rewarding skill, but notoriously arduous to train.
Arduous.
Arduous is the word, I've decided. It's been the subject of much debate over the years, and when we tentatively pitched a new training method back in December 2020's Gilnor Gazette, 27 years ago.
Over a year ago.
It really got you folks talking. Keen-eyed readers will observe we changed the name since, as the lore for the minigame has now been finalized. So let's pick up there. A fun, narratively exciting new minigame that serves as brand new method for training Runecraft. Guardians of the Rift. Should this pass a poll, we expect the content to launch in March. Not too bad. What do they mean, March of 2024? Or
they just say March. They don't say the year.
They don't. They did that on purpose.
Probably.
All right. So spoiler alert for everyone who doesn't want to hear about like the lore and stuff. Skip like 2 minutes. So the Abyss, a deadly realm filled with ancient power. The secrets of this plane have long eluded the denizens of the Wizard's Tower, though some would give anything to properly uncover them. One of these wizards is Perston. While many in the tower aren't convinced by her unorthodox methods, a recent discovery means she may now hold the key to the knowledge they crave the most. However, nothing is simple when the Abyss is involved, and Perston won't be able to get to the bottom of her discovery without your help, ... We're gonna kill the Abyss! This little backstory is going to be leading into a new quest called the Temple of the Eye quest. So the requirements, you have to have the Enter the Abyss mini quest done. You have to have 10 runecrafting, and it is unfortunately members only.
Yeah, I was saddened by
sucks.
that. I really wish it was. The thing is because you'll see with the rewards, that wouldn't make sense, but also
they could just make some of the rewards not members only.
Yeah, exactly. So I really wish it was. They are planning on, I think, bringing some of the rewards to non-members, which would be, I don't know how that would work, but we'll talk about that in a second.
We'll talk about it soon, yeah. So the Temple of the Eye quest will naturally guide you into Guardians of the Rift. We wanted the minigame to feel grounded in the wider world. It's a short and simple quest which should be accessible to most account types, unless you're not a member.
Yes.
And the rewards are going to be access to the Temple of the Eye, the ability to play the Guardians of the Rift minigame, 5,000 Runecraft XP, a medium pouch if you don't already have one, and a single quest point.
Yep. And that's going to be the first poll question, is whether you want that to actually exist in the game.
Yes. Next up, it's saying the requirements for the minigame. So you need level 27 runecrafting. You have to finish the Temple of the Eye quest, and you do have to be a member, as we said earlier.
Yeah. Well, members was for the quest, and this members is for the minigame.
Cool. So members for both.
Yeah.
We're just really rubbing in all the free-to-play people's faces right now.
At
this point.
There's a little mock-up of what the actual boss arena looks like, and it's going to be like Wintertop, where there's only one instance of it happening per world.
Okay.
So It's going to be one boss, one health pool, and a bunch of people go at one time. It seems like it's going to be a very large room with a couple inner circles of rune stones and stuff like that. And you can go ahead and explain kind of like what the minigame is going to be about.
Yeah, so the Guardians of the Rift minigame is non-instance and non-combat, and that means that's accessible for skillers. Upon entering the Guardians of the Rift minigame, you'll be transported into the Temple of the Eye. As the game starts, you'll see the rift into the abyss starting to open across the room. Oh no!
Oh,
yeah,
God.
They typed that. I had to.
Oh no.
Oh no! Fortunately, the wizards from the Wizard's Tower are here to assist you. They'll reanimate the Great Guardian in the middle of the room so that it can try to close the rift. However, it's pretty out of practice and you must help protect it while it charges up enough power to close the rift. Around the Great Guardian, there are various entrances to Runecraft altars, corresponding to different runes. When active, these entrances will let players pass through the corresponding altars, but only 2 entrances can be active at one time. Outside of these entrances, there are 2 lanes, elemental and catalytic.
Catalytic.
Outside of these entrances, there are 2 lanes, elemental and catalytic. God, catalytic. Catalytic. Yeah, I'm just keeping that in because there's no way I could say this word.
All right.
Elemental runes are air, earth, water, and fire. Any type of rune that is not elemental is classed as catalytic. For reference, that's mind, body, cosmic, chaos, nature, law, death, and blood. So most of the runes.
Anything that is not one of the base 4 natures.
I was going to say anything that is not in Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yeah. One of the base 4 elements, it's going to be catalytic.
Catalytic. As the Abyssal Rift opens, abyssal creatures will spawn. They won't attack players, but they will go after the Great Guardian. Your job is to ensure it reaches 100% charge and closes the rift on time by feeding it imbued essence. If the Great Guardian's charge hits 0, it's game over. It loses charge each time it's hit by an abyssal creature. However, you can help defend it by creating Rift and Shield Guardians from supplies found in the minigame. So, the Rift Guardian, you guys, what a gentleman.
What a gentle sir.
He looks like the Runecrafting pet, but he has like a little cane and he looks like he's wearing like a Pope-esque hat going on.
If you think he looks like the Runecrafting pet, just wait a second.
Okay. So the Rift Guardian's purpose is to protect the rift, the flow of magic entering Gilnor. To do so, they carry a piece of it within their own bodies. They can use this rift to resonate with different types of energies, catalytic or elemental. Did I say it right?
You did.
Hell yeah. The Rift Guardians will actively protect the Great Guardian by moving through the lanes toward the Abyssal Rift, where they'll attack the creatures as they spawn. You'll get the chance to create your own Rift Guardians in the minigame by using a chisel and nearby essence, which you can then imbue and fit with charged batteries. You create your own?
Yep.
I love this. Rift Guardians can be upgraded using elemental and catalytic batteries. Must we keep saying the catalytic word?
You have to. It's half of it.
Elemental Rift Guardians only use melee attacks, but catalytic ones can use magic to attack from afar. Once upgraded, they'll hit harder and have more hit points. Should a Rift Guardian fail, it can be mined for essence shards. More on this later. So next up, we're going to go over the Shield Guardians, which look exactly like the pet.
Yeah, they are just like
but they just have some green.
the pet.
They have some green on like their arm and their leg.
Yeah, because it's like old moss, I guess.
Oh, they're mossy boys.
They are.
So the Shield Guardians protect the Great Guardian in a more defensive capacity. Just like the Rift Guardian counterparts, they can be powered up with essence shards and charged catalytic or elemental batteries. I love my pause when I say catalytic.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Upgraded Shield Guardians have more hit points. Their job is to tank damage from the abyssal creatures, so make sure to heal them up now and then.
And so they actually have a smaller gameplay section that kind of just goes over what you can expect to do whenever the game happens. And I'm just going to summarize it because it's kind of a lot of reading.
It is a lot.
But essentially, you will spawn in and there's going to be wizards there that you have to grab batteries from. Then you can charge these batteries by using a combination of essence and essence shards. So rune essence and essence shards. And then you can use these batteries to power up the guardians as well as the mages that we saw. And so they're going to be tanking damage and dealing damage to the abyssal creatures that are attacking the Rift Guardian. So
I'm so excited for this.
I know, right? So it's pretty cool. So while this is going on and those enemies are fighting and you're powering up the defenders, you're also going to be having to get more essence shard and rune essence, combining it into unimbued essences and imbuing those to give the Rift Guardian more life. So once the Rift Guardian is fully charged, the abyssal creatures have been fended off long enough and he's able to close the rift. then you will be given experience during the minigame, but more like Wintertot, you'll be given more once you actually win.
Awesome.
Yeah, so overall it seems pretty cool. Pretty I think it is going to be pretty simple, but reading it here, it seems like there are a lot of like moving parts and stuff going on.
I think it'll
But
be like Temporos, how it seems like a lot, but then when you're playing, you're like, okay, it's not too bad.
yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I think is going to happen, because it does seem like if you read through it, there's like three different phases, and there's like a lot of places to get the essence shards, and like even higher valuable essence shards, but they're only in portals that you can access at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also get items that automatically give you access to those portals. So it's like there's like some nuance here and there, which is nice in a minigame, so there's room to optimize. But I think it just seems a little complicated at first, but it'll be pretty cool once you get used to it.
Definitely. I'm so excited. Do we know the experience rates?
We do know the experience rates.
Okay, I know it's not going to be
So
great.
they have it here.
So it goes and compares it to other like general ranges for runecrafting experience. So ZMI, like the XP rate per hour could scale with level, of course, but it's like 25,000 to 54,000. And that's like low to mid intensity. Blood runes, the XP rates are like 35 to 40,000 an hour, and it's very low intensity. Soul runes, 45 to 50,000 an hour, very low intensity. Lava runes, 75 to 80,000 an hour. They're liars. That's not true. And it's very high intensity. I've never been able to get more than like a 32,000 an hour lava runes.
I've never done.
Or not lava, no matter how click intensive I'm doing it.
I've never done lavas.
They're liars. Okay. Good to know. So Guardians of the Rift, you would be making 20,000 to 60,000. Like this again scales with the level, and it will be a medium intensity activity.
Yeah, so it seems like it'll be really close to.
So we can get about 10,000.
How much experience you're getting from ZMI and how much money you're getting from blood runes.
Mm-hmm.
But it is medium intensity.
Yeah, we'll see how the experience actually works, because I feel like it's never. I never get what they say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
75,000 of lava runes win, dude. Who? What?
How much do you get at bloods though?
Bloods, I would get like 30.
Oh, okay, so I mean that's not too far off.
Yeah.
As you can see here, Guardians of the Rift fits neatly in with existing methods. XP scales as with ZMI and provides better XP than Bloods and Souls at their respective levels, but less than Lavas. The GP rates are also comparable to Bloods. On top of this, it's an engaging minigame with lots of small decisions to be made throughout. So they think that it fits in between everything. From what it looks like on paper, I would agree that it seems like it's a good spot in between ZMI and lava runes, where ZMI is, I think, something most people want to do, or Bloods is what everyone wants to do, and lava is what no one wants to do. So if you can fit this in between the what everyone wants to do and what some people want to do, that would be nice, because minigames are really fun in this game, and it'd be really bad if they were just had no XP worth. So moving on to some of the rewards. So it says that after successfully completing a game, you'll accumulate elemental and catalytic energy. The amount awards depend on your specific actions in the minigame. Rewards are earned by spending one of each point to reach into the Abyssal Rift and receive a random reward. So you got it, some of the elemental and catalytic energy, spend it, and you'll get a reward.
Nice.
So there's going to be a generic or general loot table, and this is going to be pretty much just runes and talismans. So
Very
it's going to
handy
be
on GIMs.
Yeah, I think so as well. So you're going to get a ton of random runes, all the way from airs up to bloods. You're not going to have access to wrath runes. And also, as far as the talismans go, you can get everything from air up to deaths, but you can only get deaths if you've completed Morning's End Part 2, and of course you will also not be getting wraths.
It's actually quite a requirement.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't really need the death talisman until you have Morning's End, so I guess that does make sense.
Mm-hmm.
On top of this, it says that the Guardian of the Rift reward shop also contains all standard talismans, but we want to ask whether it should stock blood talismans or not. Items within the Guardians of the Rift reward shop are purchasable using the Abyssal Pearls. While we're on this topic, we're also introducing the Catalytic Talisman to the reward rift. This will count for any non-elemental runecrafting altar, giving its lucky owner access to some of the most sought-after altars. Additionally, the Catalytic Talisman will grant players access to the true blood altar in Mauritania.
What?
requiring sins of the father.
I love this.
Yeah. So it does seem pretty cool. It's nice that you can have one talisman that's a rare drop that'll allow you to any altar that isn't water, earth, fire, or air.
One talisman to rule them all.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a lot of the non-catalytics people don't use that often, besides like, I mean, I guess for Ironmans, like nature's laws, those would be pretty important, but I think the majority of players don't really use those that often.
Maybe they will now.
Yeah, maybe. So that'd be really interesting as a reward if that actually passes the poll.
And the true blood altar?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder what they mean by that. Like, is this going to be a new way to get more blood?
It's just going to be a different way to do blood runes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Is this already in the game? Let me look this up real quick. The true blood altar is in the Mireditch Laboratories.
Okay.
Oh. Okay.
So we didn't know that the true blood thing was already a thing.
Yeah, so that's what I was interested, because I read this before actually going over this with you, and when I was reading them bringing up the talismans for blood, I was kind of confused because I
was going to ask you about what you wrote down.
Yeah, you don't use talismans for blood, but apparently there is a true blood altar in the Mireditch Laboratories already in the game, but it doesn't seem like anyone uses it.
Well,
I guess for kind of obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Unless I'm confused, the Mireditch Laboratories are kind of hard to get to.
That's so strange.
Yeah, so that's pretty weird.
I didn't even know that existed. Well, that's cool.
Either way, they do say new talismans means new tiaras. Both the new catalytic talisman and the existing elemental talisman can be melded with a gold bar to create 2 new tiaras, fashionable and practical.
And they'll probably look pretty because they're going to be gold instead of silver.
Yeah, so they're going to look pretty cool, and they'll allow you access
Fancy.
to the new, or not the new, but it'll allow you access to the talisman or to the altars, so that'll be pretty cool.
Nice.
So we did mention Abyssal Pearls earlier. This is a new type of currency used in the Guardians of the Rift reward shop that are obtained from the reward rift. So the amount you will receive will depend on your contribution to the minigame. So moving on from that, we have the thing I teased at the very beginning of the episode, which is going to be the new Guardians of the Rift pet. So they are planning on adding a pet, and they say that when the Temperos minigame came out last year, it came with a brand new pet. We want to do the same here, but there's already an existing Rift Guardian pet, so we're still deciding on what this new pet could be. We're torn between a version of the Great Guardian or your very own Abyssal Creature.
That'd be cute.
Personally, I think the Abyssal Creature would be the pet. They even say that don't worry if you decide to go with the Great Guardian option. They are going to work very hard to make sure it doesn't look like the existing Rift Guardian pet.
Good.
Even with that being said, though, I still think the Abyssal Creature would be way cooler because it would make sense lore-wise as well that you've like tamed one of the Abyssal Creatures.
That's really cool.
But
also, I do like the Guardian with its little Pope hat and stuff.
Yeah. Well, that's not what
it's very similar, though.
That's not what the main Rift Guardian is going to look like.
Oh, okay, never mind. I just want the Abyssal one then.
No, because the main Rift Guardian is like a separate entity that they didn't show here yet. That is like the Rift boss that you're powering up.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
The Abyssal Creature idea is sick, though.
I think that's really cool. There's also the poll for a new item, and this is actually kind of a big item. So it's called the Abyssal Needle. This will be used to create a brand new pouch called the Colossal Pouch.
Ooh.
So it's an upgrade from the Giant Pouch, and it requires 85 runecrafting to use.
Oh my god, that is massive.
It is massive, as in actually capacity massive, because you will get 40 capacity for runestone or for runecrafting.
Oh my gosh.
So
that's huge.
It's really crazy. The needle is going to allow you with 56 crafting to be able to combine all previous pouches into one very large pouch.
That's so cool. So you still have to go and obtain all of them. Yeah,
you still have to go and get them all. And it's going to have 8 durability before it gets degraded. And it says the Colossal Pouch will have a knock-on effect for other runecraft methods by slightly increasing the XP per hour. And it means fewer pouches to click. So that's just obviously convenience for a lot of people. You don't want to click 4 pouches all the time or 3 pouches, depending on what you'd like to do.
That's awesome. And it's such a high requirement, too.
Yeah, the high requirement at that point, you're just like making it a little bit easier for everyone doing bloods or souls.
Exactly.
So that's really, I think that's a cool addition. This next item does seem pretty interesting, and it's very minigame specific. So it's called the Abyssal Lantern. This is an item that you can get in the reward shop and is held in the offhand with the shield slot. It gives various benefits during the Guardians of the Rift based on which logs you decide to use on it. It has 10 charges and uses 2 logs per game, so you're going to be able to do 5 games before you have to recharge it. But it'll change what bonuses it gives you based on your fire making level. So you have to add the logs to it, which naturally it does make sense. You need fire making for it.
Yeah.
But either way, depending on if you use normal oak, willow, maple yew, blisterwood, magic, or redwood, then it'll give you a different bonus, all the way ranging from increasing the amount of reward points you get, all the way to the last one, which seems kind of insane, increases your reward points, your runes crafted, and also your rune pouch will no longer degrade within the minigame.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah, so that is a really big one, but you do need 90 fire making in order to actually...
I could not do that.
Yeah, so that's kind of insane. It does seem really cool. If you really like this minigame, then this will definitely help you out a lot.
Now the part that I'm like most excited for.
The part you're most excited about is
After the pet.
Because the Runecrafting skilling outfit looks
amazing.
Crazy. It looks very, very good.
Okay, whenever we all start doing our little Runescape D&D sessions and cosplaying, I'm buying this outfit in real life.
Yeah, this would be a really good cosplay, honestly.
This would be great if we go to Comic-Con this year. No one will know what it is.
So, also, they do mention, I just got sidetracked because it looks really cool.
It's so cool, guys.
They do mention that the Abyssal Pearls that you earn, you can spend on powerful goodies. It will include all standard talismans as well as the Runecraft skilling outfit that we just mentioned.
Gosh.
For anyone that doesn't want to go look up a picture, it just looks like kind of like adventurers' robes that have a...
They have like gold...
they have like
the sleeves.
You know,
it's just
you know what they
accents.
look like? It looks like candy corn.
It does, but I like candy corn.
Yeah, so it's like trimmed with candy corn colors.
Yeah, but I think it'll look more gold.
Yeah.
And also the wizard's hat that you're wearing has like a gold tiara on it too.
You know why?
Because the gold tiara? Wait, does it combine with the hat?
Because you're going to be allowed to combine your tiara with the hat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heck
so
yeah.
It's going to be really cool. So it's 4 pieces. Yay! It's the helmet, the chest, the legs, and the boots. And this is going to be more focused on increasing your profit and not your experience while runecrafting. So it will not give you any experience boost.
I just want to look cool. I literally don't care what it's for.
But it does give you a really large profit boost potentially. And not potentially, I mean just like straight up. Each piece has a 10% bonus chance to give you additional runes with a total of 60% when all are worn.
Oh my god.
Which
that's
is
huge.
Very, very good.
At blood runes? My god.
Yeah, so that's pretty crazy. It says, when we hear your concerns that blood runes can be tedious to obtain through shops, the new outfit would improve yields of runes, which can be very powerful when combined with access to the true blood altar. So I'm guessing you get more runes at the true blood altar. Let us know about the true blood altar. I'm not entirely sure what it is or what's going on there.
And their wiki is extremely short and not detailed.
The wiki is extremely short and not very detailed. Let me see if it says anything about it. Oh, the blood talisman is unobtainable. So this would be adding the blood talisman to the game.
Okay, so we've just made another shocking discovery. You actually cannot go into the true blood altar.
Yeah, so the release of this minigame would give you access for the first time ever to the true blood altar, which they're alluding to here would give you a lot, like in addition to the normal blood altar.
Okay, this makes way more sense because whenever we're talking about blood altar and I was like, I guess I've never heard about this. I was like, how have I never heard about this?
Yeah, so apparently the true blood altars in the Marditch laboratories is inaccessible at this time, will become accessible after this update, and will probably yield you much more rune or blood runes returns than the normal blood altar.
I mean, it really better if you have to finish Sins of the Father to access it.
Yeah. They also say that additionally, with the release of next, we released Blood Essence, which also provides a hefty boost to blood rune crafting. While this still won't be faster than buying runes from the shop, we feel this is a more engaging way of obtaining a lot of them and much faster than other existing methods. So, of course, this is obviously addressing Iron Man and stuff like that, because you could just go buy them anyways, which is why the price is going up so much, because everyone's just doing that instead. So that's actually pretty interesting, but we can move on to the next item, which is going to be the Ring of the Elements. So this is the
No
one that
picture, and I'm upset about that.
this is what I was actually really confused on out of
Oh.
anything in this entire blog, is because it says the Ring of Elements can store many teleport charges and can teleport players to various runecrafting related locations. I think the ring is really cool.
This sounds awesome.
They actually got it from a player suggestion when they said they want an infinite dueling ring because they use it to go to the fire altar all the time to make lavas, of course.
You know how frustrating it is to have to replace that ring like every 2 minutes?
Yeah, exactly. So they wanted to alleviate that, but in a different way. So with this ring, you can store up to 10,000 charges, and it'll give you easy access to the air, earth, fire, and water altar.
Nice.
Yeah, but it does cost a law rune as well as one of each elemental rune per charge.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of a hefty price to pay for that, but I mean, for the convenience, it might be worth it for some people.
I think definitely worth it.
And one thing that was kind of weird, the thing that confused me the most, says that we think this item might have some use in free-to-play. And we are happy to pull this as a separate question to see what you think. This could increase the value of the item while also giving non-members new teleports they do not currently have access to. So my question is, how would the free-to-play
How'd they get it?
Get the ring if they can't do the non-free-to-play minigame?
They'd have to just introduce another loot table to get it from, I guess.
Then that means that if you're a free-to-play Iron Man, then you could never get this, but if you weren't, then you could just buy it, obviously.
I don't know. They're gonna have to address that in the future for sure.
Yeah. I feel like that either we are oversighting something and maybe
No, it doesn't make any sense. I
something
agree.
was mixed up or something like that. Like maybe it's not a members minigame,
Nope,
but
it said specifically it's members only.
yeah, exactly. But
maybe they mean that they'd look into making it non-members too.
Yeah, so yeah, I just double checked it. It does say that both of them are members only, so
maybe they'd make it obtainable some other way.
Yeah, because I mean, as it stands, that would make sense for everyone, but it would totally just be like awful for, well, not awful, but it would be honestly a I don't know, like an injustice, I guess, for the Iron Man community. Because that's a pretty serious upgrade to free to play if they actually do get that.
You don't want free to play to get it?
No, I do.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. I was like, oh,
no, I'm saying that's
okay.
a serious upgrade to free to play, and if Iron Man couldn't get it, then that'd be pretty like sucky.
No, that'd be really disappointing. I'm sure that they would make it a way that Iron Man can get it too.
Yeah. But that's going to be about it for this blog. Let us know what you think down below. Overall, I thought it was really cool.
I love it. I love the outfit. I love that there's a new pet, all the things. I don't have any complaints. I mean, the XP is going to be about the same. But I did think it was hilarious because one of the first responses on Twitter when they announced it was someone criticizing it. You guys, I'm going to read this tweet. It was in quotes, like Jagex was saying this. Runecraft, a rewarding skill but notoriously arduous to train. So we decided to try and ruin that feeling of reward in favor of instant gratification. And I'm like, where's the instant
Maybe they read the different notes than us.
Maybe they made up their own notes.
Maybe there's a second set of notes.
I'm like, what? What? Hello? What do you mean? And I just thought that was so funny. And I also loved all the responses. They were like, it's not.
It's not more experience than lavas, which would be the real, if that person did lavas 1099, I don't think they would say that.
Yeah.
Because that's obviously the fastest way.
But my favorite thing, somebody responded saying, I have 99 runecrafting and couldn't care less if they made it easier. Not everyone has the time or wants to put in the effort to spend 4 to 5 months grinding blood runes. I support those decisions because it allows more players to enjoy the game and keep it alive.
Yeah.
Which I really liked. I think everyone forgets there's a lot of casual players here, you guys. It's not a bad idea. I mean, it doesn't even make it easier.
Yeah,
I don't think, first
it doesn't
of all,
make it easier.
But if it did, that's not a big deal because it's just a game.
Yeah.
Not everyone wants to spend their entire life grinding runecrafting.
Yeah, it's a really weird take, and also it's just wrong.
Also, yeah, it's the same XP, and it's more click intensive.
It's still literally less XP than the best in slot method.
Yeah.
Which it would be like insane if they're all like, that would be the same as if they came out with a new smithing game where you could only craft black armor, and they complained because obviously you're still not getting the best XP.
Yeah.
It's just like you're doing something so much worse.
And the instant gratification makes no sense because it's not instant, it's a minigame. Minigames are notoriously not instant. You have to play them out.
Yeah, there's only one minigame that's even remotely close to like best in slot experience per hour, and that's Winter Talk.
And that's still like 5 minutes per round.
Yeah, all other minigames are significantly slower in XP rates.
Yeah.
And that's how it is now. Like, even though Temperos gives good XP, the tick manipulation is still going to be twice as fast if you do tick manipulation than if you do the minigame.
Exactly.
And in this case, you don't even have to do tick manipulation. You could just do lavas and get twice as much XP.
Yeah.
Literally twice as much.
Yeah, I just thought it was a really weird take, and I wanted to share it with you all because it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's really
It's
weird.
like they didn't read the rest of the notes.
I don't think they read anything, probably.
They just read that first sentence and were like, oh, they're giving everyone 99.
Yeah, they just read the first sentence and exploded like into literal just internet words and then left.
To be clear, it would still take you several months of playing this minigame to even get to Blood Runes.
Yeah, you can get close.
But anyway, shall we move on to our question?
We shall move on to our question.
Yes, so just one question this week, again from Matt. Shout out, Matt. So he asked, would you rather the OSRS map be twice as big as it is now by the end of 2022, but all fantasy teleportation methods are removed, like magic, spirit trees, fairy rings, etc., or keep the map as is? He said that he would take the big map. It would actually be fun to encounter more players walking the usually teleported over areas, and I always love new land to explore. You want to answer first or me?
I can go.
Go for it.
So I agreed. I did say I would love this map to be twice as big because, one, that means that we'd have potentially twice as much content or nearly twice as much. That means that we'd have, I mean, if we have, let's say, pretend 100 bosses, which we might have more or less, then we would have, between 150 and 200 bosses is what I would expect.
Mm-hmm.
And then same with quests, we'd have, we have 256 right now, or
250.
250. We'd, obviously have near 500, which would be kind of crazy.
That'd be insane.
We'd probably have new, there'd probably be new areas, which would require new skills probably. And also there's going to be new methods. And on top of that, they said fantasy teleportation methods. So I'm assuming the gnome glider and the hot air balloons and the canoes and boats would also be in the game.
Okay, I didn't think about that. Yeah, my initial reaction, and I'm still kind of leaning towards this, is keep the magic transportation because your girl's lazy. If you have ever watched any of my streams, oh my god, you know how much I hate walking anywhere in this game.
Yeah, I've become really used to it between the GIM and this account.
I get upset. Even with like the 100% run at all times on this account, I'm like, oh my god.
That's so weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like getting places instantly. And I guess there would be more ways of teleporting, like you said. But I was thinking, like, for the Kingdom Divided quest, like, getting around in that without teleports.
Yeah.
Because the necklaces would be the fancy. Some people don't mind walking around. I'm just lazy. But obviously, I would love to see the map doubled.
Matt's argument is really valid. That's a lot of people's arguments for when the decline of World of Warcraft started to happen, because obviously whenever they introduced flying mounts in World of Warcraft, it was a lot more uncommon to come across people, because previously there wasn't flying mounts, so you'd normally just ride around next to someone, maybe run past them and be like, oh, what's this person doing? Or like interact with them in a way you never would have previously if they were just flying around. I think that's a very fair
argument. But I do still run into people all the time, even with teleports.
Yeah. And that could be a good and that could be a bad thing. For instance, yesterday when I was like, I think I was in the wilderness or I was at like Ferox or something, and someone said my name.
What?
Like someone like literally typed out my name, but I had just teleported using my seed pod, and so I didn't get to see what they said. But
I wonder what they were gonna say.
Exactly, like
they were just trying to get you.
That could have been good, or that could have been bad. Either way, that's something I would have experienced.
True.
If I could only run.
Interesting. Now I'm really curious what this person was gonna do. I would have like added them as a friend and probably messaged them and been like, "What?"
No, I don't have my privates on, so I don't.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they said. Whether that's good or bad, I have to deal with that.
I bet they were probably trying to bait you to kill you.
No, that's definitely possible. I thought it would have been with bad intentions, which is why I didn't message them.
But never confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know what I did. I don't think I was doing anything weird, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point. You like go in or be more social. But Yeah, kind of what you're saying, that they could have bad tensions. There's some really bad people who play this game, guys.
Oh yeah.
There's some
yeah.
the winner taught racist. No, thank you. I don't need to be passing them anywhere else.
Yeah. So, like I said, it would be some give and take in that regard.
Yeah, definitely. But I just want to double the map with all the teleports and more teleports.
So that's going to be about it for this week, though. I think we only had the one question. If you have any questions, feel free to get in contact or get in touch with us via any method, whether that be Instagram at instagram.com/Bunebape.
Does anyone go to Instagram.com? Just go to Instagram, the app. Okay, Robert's leaving the podcast. I've disappointed him for the last time.
So Michelle's going to do the socials from now on. Forever.
I'm sorry. You actually can go to Instagram.com/Bunebape. You're right. I'm so sorry. So on Instagram, it's just Bunebape. Our YouTube is Bunebape. Our Twitter is Bunebapeosrs. You can ask us questions anywhere. We have our Discord. That should be down in the description, right?
Yeah, we will have our Discord down below, so feel free to join the community. We have some pretty cool people over there. Feel free to post pictures of your dogs and cats. We love those. And also, you can join our giveaways we have every week for a bond. It's been pretty nice. I think someone different has won every week for the last 3 or 4 weeks at least. Mm-hmm. So it's been a nice variety. I think usually
weirdly not that much people entered this week.
Only between around 20 and 30 people usually enter. So you actually have a pretty good chance at winning. So if you're in need of a bond or if you have multiple accounts, then we can make it a little bit easier if you get lucky. And there's no commitment. Just feel free to join, react to the giveaway, and then you can leave the community right after that.
Yep.
But so...
What are you working on this week?
As far as what we're going to be working on this week, it's going to be leagues. I'm speaking for both of us because...
I know, I was like, dang, guess I'm not going to answer.
That's what's going to be happening. As far as the league's progression go, I'm going to get into bosses really soon here.
Yay.
And maybe even today. Probably not today, but maybe.
Maybe we'll do today.
Yeah. But what else are you doing?
Real life, real quick. We're going to Disneyland tomorrow.
We are going to Disneyland tomorrow.
So we're gonna be missing out on leagues.
It's really unfortunate.
You know, I was actually thinking about getting actually taking a picture of my password and being like, okay, well, when we wait in line, I could fish.
True.
It's not the worst idea.
Min-maxing. You could be fishing the whole time at Disneyland.
But we are taking Robert's cousin, so I don't want to be like rude. We're just on our phones the entire time.
Yeah, she's just talking to us while eating, and she's like...
No, wait, we get her to make an account.
Oh, she gets on our accounts and fishes for us.
Yes.
So we can play both accounts.
Jordan, do you listen? We have a plan.
Yo, you want to know the funniest and weirdest, I think, bug that I just came across just now is someone tried to say hello to me in the GIM group channel, but on my leagues chat, I can't access the group channel because I'm technically not a GIM right now. Yeah, so turns out weird. I just found a bug. So shout out to everyone. You cannot
send them, but you can see them.
You cannot /G talk to people in your GIM group. You can see their messages though.
And there's no section saying
there's no section that says group. It's been replaced with clan and trade.
Which is weird that it even shows you the message.
Yeah,
you're gonna have to message them separately and be like, it's not working.
Yeah. So that's pretty weird, but I think that's gonna be about it for this week. Thanks everyone for listening.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hopefully you all have a great week, and we'll see you all next time.
Sounds good. Wait. Yeah, thank you. Talk to you. This is the world.
Why are you weird?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll talk to you all then. I don't know what to say.
All right, we'll end it on that note. Bye, everyone. Have a good day.
Meet